Hello. Okay, page 379, number 68, B. It says y to the fourth plus 12y squared plus 36. And you can factor this as it is, but I want to teach you a technique called substitution. So I'm going to say that u equals y squared, and then I'm going to substitute it in. So u squared will equal y to the fourth. 12u, u equals y squared plus 36. We can now factor this. It becomes u plus 6 times u plus 6, which gets written this way. And then we take the value of u, which is y squared, and we plug it back in. So if you skip those steps, you could have gone from here to here. But excuse me, substitution is very useful in mathematics. So this is an easy example for you to get used to it. All right, try part C. Pause the video, give it some thought, study part B, and see if you can figure out what to do with this one. So pause the video and take a look at it. All right, so b minus 2 squared plus 12 times b minus 2 plus 36. I'm going to say that u is equal to b minus 2, which means that b minus 2 squared is u squared plus 12u plus 36. Factor it, end up with this. Plug back in the b minus 2 for u. So I get b minus 2 plus 6 equals b plus 4 squared. All right. If you don't do it that way, what you have to do is multiply this out to get b squared minus 4b plus 4. 12b minus 24 plus 36, solve that, and then factor it, and you'll get that answer. This way of substituting is much easier. So try page 389, number 28. Look at it, try to determine what you can do with it. Pause the video, do the work. I'll then go back to the video, I'll do the work. So pause the video. All right, so I factored out z squared leaves me 9z minus 5. What I'm going to do here is factor out minus 4. Remember, when I factor out minus 4, this plus 20, when I divide it, has to be a negative 5, because the negative 4 times negative 5 will give me my plus 20. Don't make that mistake. So I've got z squared minus 4 times 9z minus 5. I look at this, I can still factor this. So I haven't finished the job. If you got this far, that's good, but you want to get beyond that. So it's going to be z plus 2 times z minus 2, parentheses, times 9z minus 5. All right, try number 54. Pause the video, do the work, and then come back to the video. All right, so 4p times 4p gives me 16p squared. Negative 1/3 plus 1/3 will give me my negative 1 over 9. If I want to check my work, and I urge you to do this, it's going to be 4p times what's inside that parentheses, then minus 1/3 times what's inside that parentheses. 4p times 4p gives me 16p squared plus 4 over 1 times 1/3 p minus 1/3 times 4 over 1 p minus 1/3 times plus 1/3. Remember, all whole numbers are regularly fractional with 1 as a denominator. So when you multiply fractions, it's numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. You get 4 over 3 minus 4 over 3. 1 times 1 is 1, 3 times 3 is 9. So negative times a positive. These two cancel. I end up with what I started with, so I get them correct. All right, try number 56. All right, so number 56 is 3z to the 8th minus 12. Give it a try, see how you do with it. Factor it completely. Alright, so I can factor out a 3, which is my first step, and I have z to the 8th minus 4. That's going to give me z to the 4th plus 2, z to the 4th minus 2. And I can't factor it any more than that. So that's the end of that problem. Alright, try page 404, number 40. Try to do it. What you want to do is bring the 48 to the side and then factor it. Pause the video, I'll do the workout, then you check your work. Alright, brought the 48 over, divided by 2, so I get 2 times 3y squared plus y equals minus 24 equals 0. So I divide the 0 by 2, so I get rid of the 2. So now I have 3y squared plus y minus 24 equals 0. What I want to do is factor this. I get 3y minus 8, parentheses, times y plus 3 equals 0, which means that either this is 0 or that is 0. One of them has to equal 0. So 3y minus 8 equals 0, 3y equals 8. Y can equal 8 divided by 3, or y can equal negative 4. All right, try number 44. All right, here's number 44. What you're going to do is multiply it out, then bring the 6 over to the side, then factor it. So go ahead and try that. Pause the video. All right, math is a language now. It's telling you what to do. It's telling you to multiply t plus 5 by t. It's telling you t plus 5 by 10. That will equal 6. I do the multiplication. I get this. I simplify this. I bring the 6 to the side. Now it becomes a minus 6. What you're doing is subtracting 6 from both sides. I solve that. I get t squared plus 15t plus 44. I factor it. I get t plus 11 times t plus 4 equals 0, which tells me either this is going to be a 0 or this is going to be a 0. So t plus 11 gives me t equals negative 11, or t plus 4 equals 0. T is equal to negative 4. So t is going to either be negative 11 or negative 4. All right, next I want you to look at problem number 64. Go ahead and read number 64. Pause the video. Okay, it says the product of two consecutive even integers is 120. Find the integers. If x is the first even integers, 2, 4, 6, 8. Question is, what is the second even integer? So pause the video and try to answer that question. All right, the second even integer is going to be x plus 2. If 4 is the first even integer, add 2 to it and you get the next even integer. If 6 happened to be the first even integer, the next one would be 8. So pause the video and try to do the math. All right, it says the product, which means multiplying. X times x plus 2 gives me 120. Bring the 120 over. I get x plus 2x minus 120. I factor it. Tells me x minus 10 equals 0 or x plus 12 equals 0. So x can be either 10 or x can be negative 12. Now that's part of the answer because it's going to have to be 10 plus 2 gives me 12. So it can be 12, 10 or 12 would be the answer. Or negative 12 plus 2 gives me negative 10. So the answer could be negative 12 and negative 10. So either both of them. Remember, you're just getting the answer here for x. That's the first even integer. The second one, you have to add 2 to it. take a look at problem 66, read it, and try to do it. Pause the video, I'll do it on the board, and then you can come back to the video. Alright, it says the width, and it says the length is 7 more than the width. So the area is width times length, which is 78 inches squared. This is inches. So it's going to be W times W plus 7. So go ahead and solve that. See how you do. Pause the video. All right. Multiply them together, you get W squared plus 7W equals 78. Bring 78 over to this side. You factor it, you get W plus 13 times W minus 6. If you had difficulty factoring this, don't feel bad. It's not that easy to do. So I set each one equal to 0. It says W is equal to negative 13 or W is equal to 6. Length can never be negative. So this one does not work. This one does work. That's the width. I want the length, which is going to be W plus 7, which equals 6 plus 7. So length is equal to 13. Don't forget, you want both measurements. All right, let's turn to page 429. Try number 18. They want to know is what makes the denominator 0. They're asking you what is the domain. Whatever number makes the denominator 0 is not in the domain. So go ahead and figure out that first. Pause the video. All right, so set the denominator equal to 0, t squared equals 16, you take the square root of both sides. We take the square root of this side, you're going to get a positive and negative number, plus or minus 4. This tells me that t, if it's equal to plus or minus 4, makes the denominator 0, which means that t cannot equal 4 and t cannot equal negative 4. All right, next I want to try problem 36. I want you to simplify it. All right, I can reduce negative 5 over 20 to negative 1 over 4. I want to subtract my exponents. It's x3 minus 4, y2 minus 2. Gives me negative 1/4, x to the negative 1, y to the 0. Y to the 0 is equal to 1. So I have negative 1/4 x times 1, which gives me negative 1/4 x. All right, try problem number 38. Pause the video, give it a try, see how you do it. If I factor it, I get 5 times parentheses y minus 3 over 3 times y minus 3. The y minus 3 cancel. I'm left with the 5 over 3. Try number 40. There's number 40 on the board. Give it a try. Pause the video. See how you do with it. All right, I factor the numerator. I get 3 parentheses z minus 2 over 3z squared minus 4. I can factor this into z minus 2 times z plus 2. The 3's will cancel, the z minus 2's will cancel. I'm left with 1 over z plus 2. All right, your homework assignment. You're going to get a test on chapter 4. Page 379, numbers 67, 68, 69. Page 389, numbers 25, 27, 28, and 53 through 57. Page 404, numbers 39 through 45. Page 429, numbers 17, 18, and 35 through 41. This is in chapter 5.